Hello and welcome to Blossom Minds. Do you often struggle with thoughts about things that happened in the past? How often do you feel stuck and find it difficult to move on? How often do you live in the past? Maybe there is something you went through, or something you did, or something was done to you. You find it difficult to forgive and let go, as they are so painful, distressing, disappointing, and hurtful in so many ways. No matter how hard you try, you revolve around your things from the past. You just don't want to feel sick and stuck, but you want to release all of them for good as they are not serving your purpose. And you also realize that another side of human experience is full of lot of great stuff like caring, joy, creativity, love, connection, compassion, and much more. If that is true for you, then stay tuned. This is what we are going to talk about. If you are new here and if you are connecting for the first time, my name is Krishna, productivity mindset and spiritual coach. I have been into coaching for over 3 years now. I work to help men and women to let go of their past, access their inner wisdom, and experience that inner shift to lead the life they always wanted. Well, just a side note, I am not talking here about more severe trauma like abuse, abandonment, neglect or something like that, which calls for clinical examination and qualified doctor's intervention. We are not discussing about that, although the strategies that I share here will be helpful to a certain extent in those cases as well. I am trying to address issues that are constantly hijacking our thoughts. Whatever the reason may be, some disappointment from the past, like maybe a difficult breakup, or loss of job, or did not get one after working so hard preparing, or promotion, or loss of some near and dear ones. This happened to me in 2021. I lost 13 people who were connected to me. I was disoriented for some time, a difficult period, and took some time for me to get back on track. So something like that where you are struggling and your brain is going around and around, a kind of replaying it, and it is bringing up all kinds of discomfort, all kinds of distress. So the point here is there is always an element of grief when it comes to pain from the past. There is a part of loss experience that is so painful to digest. We really did not want that to happen. It is so hurtful, disappointing, regretful, resentment, sadness, frustration, anger. Any of this or all of this can be showing up when you think of those past events. The reason we find it difficult is, it is said according to neuroscience, negative and positive information is processed differently by our brain. This is by design. The basic primitive function of our brain is to either fight or flight. So experiences that are negative in nature needs more thinking, and thus our brain processes them thoroughly. This is the reason our brain becomes better at remembering adverse events easily. And this is one of the reasons we find it difficult to release and let go of our past memories, no matter how hard we try. See, you can't change the way your brain works, but definitely you can find ways and means to train your brain to handle such memories in much more effective ways that supports you. Eckhart Tolle, the most popular spiritual author in the United States, according to New York Times, once he said, "There is a fine balance between honoring your past and losing yourself in it. You can acknowledge them and learn from the mistakes you made and then move on. This is called forgiving yourself." The point here to understand is, when we think about the past, 1. These thoughts are from the past that is creating the discomfort or the pain or the emotions. 2. These are memories. You are suffering your memory, and you are using your present time to suffer the past memory. This itself gives you a clarity that is holding on to those thoughts is a conscious decision. Now, letting go of those thoughts is also a conscious decision. All that you need is the way to do it. So the moment you start realizing that it is the memory that is creating the havoc, you immediately notice that there is a small gap between your present and the memory that you are suffering. And many of us don't realize that there is something that we can do about these nagging and persisting thoughts. Of course, we are always told to think positive, tell ourselves to stop thinking about it, use positive words, etc. We often think practicing them helps, but actually they don't when we are in those moments. Not that positive thinking or some gratitude or helpful strategies. Yes, they are powerful to use in certain times and circumstances, but not all the time. At times we need something more to deal with what is coming up. Experts say that when an emotional pain prevents you from healing, it is a sign that you aren't moving forward and not growing. Now, let us look into some powerful yet simple to practice strategies that will enable you to harness the power of letting go, to lead the life you always wanted. Strategy number 1. Stop judging and start accepting. First thing is first. We should consciously practice not saying things like, "What is wrong with me? I am stupid. I am pathetic. I am weak. Or I am feeling upset," or something like that. Stop this and start accepting those events or situations or whatever is causing pain. Acceptance is the key. Yes, these things have happened in the past, which has left a scar on my heart, but they are from the past. They are just memories. What emotion I should attach to these memories is for me to decide. This will create a small gap between you and those memories. Ask yourself these powerful 2 questions. Number 1. How are these thoughts helping me in the present moment? And number 2. How do I let it go and move on? I can assure you, you will find your inner wisdom speaking to you. And one more point, the very use of "I am" is identifying ourselves with something or some memories or some thoughts. But now we know it is not me and it is a old memory. So why not use the power of "I am" for a better association? Like I am empathetic, I am lovable, I am blessed, so on and so forth. Use them as much as possible and you will find universe responding to it. I want to share an experience here. A few days back, I met a friend of mine who had lost his father just then in the pandemic. He looked really tired, not really great. I asked him the usual question, "How are you? What's going on with you?" He told me all about that great loss, how he is suffering his father's absence, how he is missing him, and all. After some time, I asked him one more question. "What are the wonderful things that you remember about your father?" So he went on to speak about that as well for some time. Then I had to move. So, while parting, I just left him with a thought that you have such a wonderful memory of your father. Why don't you find ways and means to think and dwell upon them? He just smiled at me and then we moved on. I once again met him, guess 15-20 days later. This time I bumped into him in a vegetable market. He spoke to me for some time, but he made it a point to tell me that he is remembering all the good things about his father and he is sharing it wherever possible. This has made him feel light in his heart and he is feeling better. This was a surprise to me, as I did not expect that he would take my parting statement seriously. This shows probably he wanted some direction to move forward and he got one after talking to me. The 2 questions have changed the perspective, looking at the same event but differently in a way that is more empowering and supporting. Strategy 2. Now that you know how to manage those thoughts by applying strategy 1, you go on fearlessly to indulge in those thoughts, but I will tell you how. So next time, as these thoughts show up, the question you need to ask is, what are the key lessons that I have learned from this? How I can use these lessons for the greater good? Make it a practice to ask these questions along with the ones from strategy 1 when you find yourself with those thoughts. You may find it difficult to comprehend if you are new to this, but I can tell you, when you practice these 2 strategies, you will see a tremendous difference in how you feel about these thoughts. You will feel different in your emotions. These are powerful questions that push your brain to think and look at new landscape of perspectives. I am not saying this is easy. What I am saying here is strategy 1 and 2 helps train your brain to look beyond. Strategy 3, being mindful. This is a very important step. It is time to show yourself some kindness and compassion. It is paramount to keep your focus on your thoughts and actions. This means you choose to think and act in a way that supports you, especially when those nagging and persisting thoughts show up. You know you can choose to shift your focus to things that you are so grateful for in your life. This enables you to move to the present instantly and hence less or even zero impact of the past or future has on you. You have the power now. Practice these 3 strategies religiously and harness the power of letting go to lead the life you always wanted to. The life of peace and joy. Hopefully you have found this video interesting. If you have liked this video, subscribe, like and share it with your family and friends. Do remember to press that red bell icon so that you will be notified as soon as I post new videos. Even if you don't do all that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this video. God bless you.